Well, hey guys. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about colloidal silver, especially with, unfortunately, the global pandemic. I feel as though it's getting a lot of attention for immune boosting and whatnot. And then, of course, relevant to this channel is going to be the topical use of colloidal silver in skincare. What the flip is up with silver, and why the heck would we ever care about either ingesting it or putting it on our skin? Silver is antimicrobial. It can reduce bacteria and fungi, and also it is anti-inflammatory. We use silver topically in medicine to treat wounds. We use a variety of silver impregnated dressings to treat burns, for example, silver sulfadiazine, aka Silvadene, or silver nitrate. But no self-respecting physician out there is prescribing or suggesting patients ingest silver. It's actually very dangerous. I think in these skincare interwebs amongst skincare enthusiasts, there is interest in using silver for acne. That's where I get the most questions about colloidal silver. I mean, it makes some sense to pursue it. Like, I'm not knocking people for wondering about it, because it is antibacterial and it's anti-inflammatory. And actually, some dermatologists will use Silvadene in the treatment of acne in a limited fashion. One of the major issues, though, with either ingesting silver or putting it on your skin is a condition called Argyria. What the heck is this? Well, silver deposits in many organ systems and tissues throughout the body. When you ingest it, it's absorbed in the small intestines. It can be deposited in various organs and have major systemic adverse side effects that are super dangerous when ingested. It deposits in the skin structures. You can actually see it when you do a biopsy, hanging out there in your sweat glands. Skin turns slate blue gray, especially in areas that are exposed to the sun. Silver leads to increased production of melanin, the pigment that our skin makes, so that leads to hyperpigmentation. But then the silver itself actually reacts with UV to lead to this disfiguring, permanent slate blue discoloration. Now, really where this is most dramatic is in cases where people ingest colloidal silver in like these homeopathic remedies, unfortunately. But you definitely can have this happen if you're applying it topically to the skin. It is a known adverse effect of using Silvadene to treat a wound. You can get localized Argyria to where you're using it. This is a case of a guy who was using Silvadene and went out in the sun, and this happened. I mean, it's a rare complication, but it's also been reported in burn victims who were given silver impregnated dressings to apply to their wounds. It led to this disfiguring slate blue gray dyspigmentation on the skin. Not a good thing. So that is a known adverse effect of using Silvadene in the medical setting where you're supervised by a physician. So like, why would you want to put yourself at risk for this? Yeah, so I don't recommend applying colloidal silver to the skin for this reason. I mean, especially with acne, right? Like pimples themselves, the skin there is susceptible to irritation, and if you think about it, the skin of a pimple, the barrier is compromised, so you're going to get potentially even more of that silver taken up into the lesions of acne that can deposit in the pore and whatnot, and cause this horrible permanent disfiguring dyspigmentation, the slate blue discoloration of the skin. And in the case of acne on the face, you're putting it somewhere that's sun exposed, so it's even riskier. For those people on the internet who are promoting ingesting colloidal silver, this has got to stop, you guys. It's super dangerous. Beyond just the cosmetic issue of turning blue, silver, it doesn't just deposit in your skin, it deposits in your organs. It can lead to coma, hemolysis, which is basically rupture of your blood cells. And it also can deposit in your nails, turn your nails blue, and in your mouth, in your conjunctiva, turn your eyeballs blue. It also can cause bone marrow suppression, wipe out your white blood cells completely. Which, you know, when I hear this being touted as immune boosting, it's like, no, it's actually the opposite. It can destroy your bone marrow. So yeah, no, this is not immune boosting. It's potentially immune destructive. I'm telling you, in my residency, as a matter of fact, the first year of residency, if you're not aware, for dermatology, we're actually in the hospital. We don't do any dermatology in our first year. We take care of patients in the hospital who have various diseases and whatnot. And I remember very clearly having a patient who was admitted in frank renal failure, had to go on dialysis from ingesting colloidal silver. So I have a personal connection based on caring for patients who have unfortunately had negative effects from ingesting this. So it's something I want to warn you guys against. So yeah, that's what I have to say about colloidal silver. It is hokey and dangerous. Stay away. Oh, one other potential risk of colloidal silver too that I forgot to mention is good old-fashioned contact dermatitis. Like, it's not as though in these colloidal silver suspensions you're getting like pure silver. You're going to get a silver alloy. That is inevitable. What is an alloy? It's kind of, other metals are added to kind of soften the metal. So in gold, for example, other metals will be present to make it malleable, and that's the case with silver as well. So it can have nickel in it, and there have been many reports of contact dermatitis to topically applied silver. And even in the medical setting with using Silvadene or silver nitrate sticks, patients can have allergic contact dermatitis to it. And so it's something that you're also going to put yourself at risk for if you use silver in your skincare products. And again, there's no reason to. Yeah, potentially disfiguring side effects, no data for benefit in the case of acne. The thing I find ironic is that a lot of the same people who get enthusiastic over using colloidal silver are the same people who will be freaked out by the fact that sunscreen chemicals will be detected in the blood. Even though we've been using sunscreen for decades with zero evidence of harm to human health, and just because things are detected in the blood doesn't mean that they're dangerous, people will get freaked out over that. But at the same time, be ingesting or applying colloidal silver, which yes is absorbed significantly into the body, deposited in all organs, can cause coma, bone marrow toxicity, turn you into a Smurf, and yet this is all natural, etc. I mean, yeah, I don't get it. There's a disconnect there in my mind, but we are all exposed to silver in our day-to-day life. So while I discourage you from using colloidal silver, I don't want you to like be afraid of touching a silver ring or something like that. It's not that intense, but when it comes to these colloidal silver products, it's definitely a risk, because here you are putting like straight up silver on the skin to essentially a wound in the case of acne. So it's more of a risk. But like, for example, in pillows, you'll find silver. It helps keep dust mites away. That's not gonna be absorbed into your skin like that because it's dispersed and whatnot. It's not like you're straight up putting it in the skin. So I hope that clarifies my thoughts on colloidal silver. Stay away from the colloidal silver products, you guys. Unless it's been prescribed to you for the treatment of some kind of wound or injury through your physician, like in the case of Silvadene. Yeah, otherwise stay away from it. And if you do have a prescription of Silvadene laying around, don't just use it willy-nilly on stuff because the internet tells you to do so. That can potentially obviously be dangerous. Another thing, I keep coming up with stuff. Another thing about silver too is like, it's gonna get washed down the drain, and that actually can have potentially adverse effects on the ecosystem and whatnot in the environment, have that high burden of silver going out into the environment like that. Yes, it is natural, but you know, bolusing it into the ecosystem through skincare, you know, potentially can disrupt things. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.